the White House sent out a memo on Social Security. Did you hear about this, or did you happen to see it? Well, whether you did or whether you didn't, in this video, I'm going to clarify exactly what this means for Social Security as a whole, what it means for the millions upon millions of beneficiaries that rely on these monthly benefits, and possibly most importantly, what does it mean for you and your monthly benefit checks? We've got a lot to talk about here in the video. Let's get into the details. All right, so this is following up to last week when we saw some chaos coming out of the White House in regards to this memo that came out suggesting all federal agencies to pause funding immediately. Did you hear about this? Yeah, obviously you did. Well, this shook up a lot of different things that were happening, and all of these different federal agencies were ordered immediately, stop funding everything. Well, then a lot of us were wondering the exact same thing. Guess what? Does that mean my Social Security is also going to be ended temporarily, or what does this mean for all of us and our monthly benefits? That's a really good question. So I've had a number of you here in the community reaching out to me urgently saying, please, please, please talk about this. Give us some updates. What's going on with my monthly benefit? Can you please offer some clarification? You're the trusted source on all this information. Can you please give us some information? So here it is for you. Please rest assured, I will give you everything that I know as of right now. In fact, in just a second here, I'm going to pop up some information on the screen so you can follow along as well. It's a good article. Trust me, there's a lot of articles out there. I mean, take your pick. But this is a really good one that I thought really kind of encompassed everything that I wanted to talk about. So that's what I'm going to share with you. Which, by the way, let's pop up the article now, and you can follow along here. But I'm going to kind of paraphrase a little bit about what this article is saying, and we'll talk through the details here. But there's also a little bit of a main point a little bit further down in the article that I want to point out for you in regards to your Social Security benefits, okay? And again, by the way, thank you so much for trusting me on this information. Thank you so much for your continued support here in the community. I truly do appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to present this information to you. I know it's so confusing, okay? All right, so yes, last week, here's what happened. Basically, the White House came out and said, all federal agencies stop funding immediately, okay? When you hear that happen, yeah, that can be a little bit concerning, especially for somebody receiving a benefit from Social Security, because guess what? Yeah, that is basically federally funded, right? I mean, federal agencies, Social Security, administers these payments to over 72.5 million people. So that's very concerning when we hear those words come out. Well, then later in the week, a little bit later, a couple days later, we had this memo out of the White House, okay? And in that memo, they clarified, because it was causing so much confusion, like, what does this mean and what's going to happen going forward? So they offered this memo. So you can see it here in the article as well. But basically what the memo said is that Social Security and Medicare are exempt from the federal funding freeze. What does that mean? You're not going to be impacted. Social Security and all benefits administered by the Social Security Administration, along with Medicare, are exempt from the federal funding freeze. In other words, those benefits will continue to go out. Medicare will continue to operate as normal. No changes there whatsoever. So that is a massive, massive relief. And by the way, that memo, you probably saw it there in the article, was released on January 28th. Now, obviously, that was last week. Here we are in early February as I filmed this video. But I just want to clarify that really quickly. So for those of you that have been reaching out, again, thank you so much for reaching out to me and letting me offer this information to you and clarify all of this that's going on. But you don't have to worry about it, okay? So if they come back and they offer another federal funding freeze, in other words, if they continue to extend this out further and basically say all federal agencies are subject to freeze all funding of every sort going forward, when it comes down to your Social Security, you're fine. They're not going to do anything there, okay? So that is a massive, massive win. I mean, we really kind of sidestepped what happened here, because realistically, when they say federal funding is going to be frozen, what that simply means is that basically all money coming out of the federal government through all of the federal agencies, frozen. They're done, right? Stopping temporarily. That's literally what the order was. Well, that would also generally encompass Social Security and all of the benefits administered by the Social Security Administration, which is honestly very scary. Until they gave the memo to clarify, nope, sorry, that'll be exempt from the federal funding freeze, as I said just a minute ago. So that honestly is really, really nice, okay? So, moral of the story is, yep, this will impact some things. It certainly will impact some federal agencies that are out there. But will it impact your monthly benefit? No, not a chance, okay? It will not impact your benefit whatsoever. Here's the thing as well, and I've talked about this before in other videos. I've clarified this. I've really hammered on the table about this before. Social Security and all the benefits administered by the Social Security Administration are really protected. I mean, there are laws in place that basically say in the event of a default, Social Security will continue. In the event of a government shutdown, Social Security will continue. In the event of a federal funding freeze, Social Security will continue. It's like the cat with 9 lives. I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens, the thing will continue to go on. There are laws and rules in place that say you cannot end these benefits. You cannot come in and disrupt the distribution of these payments to these millions and millions of beneficiaries. They can't. There are laws and rules in place that basically say if you try to touch this program, you're not going to do it. I mean, this thing is like, it has like a, what's the thing I'm thinking of, right? Like a knight in shining armor, right? It has like an armor shield around it. You can't really do anything to it. And if they wanted to do something to it, it has to go through the traditional congressional process, which you know how that goes, right? Lawmakers, the majority of lawmakers and the chambers, as well as the president, need to sign off on it. So it's not just like this one thing where they can come out with an executive order or anything along these lines and say, hey, we're just going to stop payments. No, sorry, you can't do that. Rules and laws say you can't, right? So that's kind of the nice thing about this. And again, I've kind of talked about that, and I've really hammered the table about that over the last few years here. When it comes down to these programs, we're protected by a lot of these rules. Now, don't get me wrong. Rules are meant to be broken, right? I mean, not always, but you know how that goes, right? So anytime they could come forward and be like, oh, just kidding, we're going to break the rules here and do this one thing. When it comes down to a massively important program like Social Security and all the benefits administered by the program, we've got a lot of protections in place, okay? So for those of you that have been wondering, for those of you that have been reaching out asking about this, I hope this clarifies it for you. I know, when I saw that announcement as well, I thought, oh my, this is a mess. You know what I mean? I saw that and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is going to offer so much confusion across the board. This is not a good thing for a lot of people. And just want to kind of let the dust settle on this thing a little bit, but want to clarify this here, okay? So anyway, I'll keep you posted on further developments going forward. It's going to be an interesting time going forward. If you haven't noticed yet over the last few weeks here, a lot of things have been happening, and it's going to get more intense here. We've got a lot on our plate right now and a lot of things happening. Either way, I'll continue to keep you updated. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to represent you and advocate for you. Again, thank you so much for putting your trust in me and the information that I share with you here in these videos. Again, I truly do appreciate that. Thanks for being part of the community. If I can ask a couple huge favors of you. Number one, please subscribe to the channel. It is 100% free to do so with the big subscribe button down below. Again, thanks so much for doing that. Otherwise, feel free to share this video with your friends on my social media. Again, share button right down below. If anybody else is wondering about this information, hopefully this clarifies it for you. If not, let me know. I can certainly come back in a live stream and I can spend some time with you live and we can talk about it there, or I can make another dedicated video. Whatever you need, let me know. I'm here for you. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description at the top of the comment section, and right now showing up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, thanks again. Please just have a nice day. Remember, I'm here for you, and I really hope I can see you again soon in the next video. Enjoy, and I'll see you.